You ate it all. My hopes, my dreams, my castle, my imagination. You ate it all. My tears, my sweat, my blood, my heart, what mine, time, my face, my dress. You ate a chocolate castle. And when you're done, you left to search for new galaxy. You shred my heart. However, I am not angry at all, 'cause I'm chocological. 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 tweezers and uppers, trim off my face and forever I'll be yours. I won't fight or make you cry. Whatever you need, whenever you need, I'll be by your side. And then I gave you my eyes to see all the colors, and then I gave you my ears to hear all the sirens, and then I gave you my heart to feel an emptiness in your chest, and then I gave you my brain so that you can learn to in the water that's clinging onto my skin. Cut me, please make it deep. If I'm covered in scars, will you look at me? Kiss me, don't leave me be. I'm a bath on the rain, I cannot swim, only sing. Just hold the blood, flush down our memories into the sea. Unfound as you softly sing the sweetest, delightful song. We found the titanium side for good of me, so one day the world can be saved by you. My the mushrooms spoke, I sat here all my life feeling sorry for myself. And they spoke, trampled, used, and dumped on no pride to push them down. Finding peace in her suffering as I go up a place in the hierarchy. Since when have I became me? I gave up crying, I gave up waiting, I gave up dreaming, optimistic dreams. Let out my feathers, cracked up my being free, my screams. Yours was still stand. Let me finish you, bang, bang, bang. Remember to put on silencer, exactly like our mother's words. We forget about spilled wine, but the stain will not be gone, though the violence is familiar, and the touch of their fingers, bitter and sweet. The flavors are not yours to seize. Stay living free. Nobody is born a fighter. There isn't enough space waiting to be drunk. I wish that person could be you. Lemonade is spilled all over and over, over and over. No matter how much I want you back, over and over, over and over. Lemonade stains my pillowcase, over and over, over and over. No matter how much I wipe it off, over and over, over and over, and over and over and over. Cut off your legs, your arms, your head. This confusing sight feels like a kaleidoscope. I held your head toward the edge of the wood, and I go. If I was born in a different body, well, our lives be easy. If we get the next life, I hope we're not human at all. Hydrangeas are calling my name, bring me to a garden I've never seen. There, I saw your veiny wings, fill me with the feeling so familiar. Cover me with your scales, our love is like a kaleidoscope. Light up your now in the magic circle, chanting the magic spell. Take my pulse, show me wonders of your world. The autumn leaves, the summer breeze, your shiny hair like mahogany. Teach me, oh teach me, the language that you say. L'Ikhviva tu conquieta, I take no amora. Crumbling gate, take me back to empty space. Look through me like I wasn't there. Soaked myself in cold water, breaking this endless wheel, praying for divine powers so we can become one. Darling, I'm sure next life you'll love me too. Next life you'll love me too. Next life you'll love me too. Like winter nights pass It ain't family, best get over it. Healthen up, just like the man we expected. So when are you gonna take the chance? Let us be one, we are one. All for one, all for everyone. We stay together, then is forever. Inside the train, we walk down the aisle. Furthermore, our love opened the door to a vehicle I'd rather not enter. Seconds later, in your future, I know he's meant for me. Thought I would be satisfied seeing you content at the other side, but somehow I thought these crazy thoughts that I deserve to be loved. I deserve to know love. We deserve to live in love. I wish there's no end. I wish there's no end vida.